your psychic intellect and made you my puppet.
It's a bullseye! And here's your host, Jim Boyd!
Perhaps today is a good day to die. Prepare for ramming speed!
Sir, there's another starship coming in. It's the Enterprise.
Bone, your shoulder bone connected to you. Neck bone, your neck bone connected to you. Head bone, now hear the word of the Lord. Them bones gonna walk around.
Take a base of action. Green group, skip across the holding sector of each other.
Admiral, we have enemy ships in Sector 47.
It's a trap.
.007 Triple X. Bond, what do you think you're doing?
Keeping the British end up, sir.
Nobody does.
Sorry if I scared you. You'll like this bit.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. You will indeed like this bit. I like that bit a lot. Man, I like my Sunday opening, right? I like my Sunday opening a lot. It's all the best bits of genre. Right there, you got Wolf. You know, if you tuned into last night's show, Mega Geek joined me. Joined me for like the last hour. It was going to be like a 5-minute pop in, and it ended up being like an hour chat about state of media, life in the universe, right? That sort of thing. And we're talking about Masters of the Sky, which I'm really, really, really enjoying. Masters of the Sky. I really enjoyed Masters of the Sky. I've got to watch it again. But here's the issue was, and with a lot of current day movies and TV, is they all look fake, right? He could tell the artificiality. Frankly, I really can't. But watching those titles there, I think it threw into high relief my lack of problem with it. Because, I could always tell, we could always tell that TV wasn't real, right? We always, even, was it Star Trek First Contact? It was a big movie. But it wasn't a huge budget movie. What was the budget for that? Let's have a look it up. Star Trek First Contact. We'll look at the budget and then we'll adjust it for today. Right? Looking at Wikipedia. Budget was 45 million and made 146. So that's not bad. So, hang on. What year was it? It was 91, wasn't it? 96, I lie. 45 million adjusted for inflation to 2024. What would that be? Inflation calculator. Tell me. It's an inflation calculator, right? So start year is 1996. 1996. Calculate. That's 45 million. So what is it? That's not so bad. Okay, so it was 89 million, right? So and then how much would be like 150? When did it make again? So it made 146. So it cost 89 million in today's money, and it made 146 million. Which is 208. Not bad. Okay, but you see, movies there, I just think they have too big a budget. I really do. So look at that bit in the titles that we just saw with Wolf. One of my favorite scenes, maybe today is a good day to die. And it was a bit of camera shake and a few things going off in the background. They can't even do that with Discovery, right? Camera shake is the sci-fi creator's friend, right? You need camera shake, and it really does work. You don't need so much. Could you tell the Pyramids of Mars wasn't in fact a documentary, right? But it was in fact like it doesn't need to look like a movie. It doesn't need to look great. So anyway, this show, Master of the Air, again, big recommend. I very much enjoyed it. I understand that Mega Geek's disdain for it, right? And I think the difference between him and I is that he connects, I think quite logically actually, that he connects the everything with the real world as it is now. I'm thinking everything more in a more abstract way. Like do I mind race swapping Perry White in the last set of Superman or the next set of Superman movies? Like, did I mind that at all? No, I thought Lawrence Fishburne was perfect, right? But I think that was before the age of like these very false race swaps and false gender swaps. So for me, but for Mega, I think he put it in the context of how awful it is today. And he's like, yeah, no go, baby, not for me. Oh boy, I had a very stressful afternoon. Let me tell you. Whitey, my little cat. Here, let me just refresh your memories. All right, Whitey was a stray who adopted me. I'm really quite happy about it because I like Whitey. Like Whitey comes and like doesn't like to snuggle, but boy, does she like to come and when I'm asleep and come and sit on my chest and go to sleep. And she loves being petted. Look, she's just cute, right? She's a cute kitty cat. Well, so let me find a picture of it or a video. Here we go. Doink. And there she goes. Oh, cute little kitty. And I like her. She has different coloured eyes, and I like she's pretty naughty, right? I know that's just me for you. I appreciate the naughtiness. Anyway, so Whitey has a routine, right? Much like everybody else. Whitey has a routine. Oh, right. I'm just going to take an aside to give you a glimpse into my insane, ultra-religious mind, right? And it is. It's really freaking insane. Oh, man, that cat's cute. Anyway, I look at cats. I especially like love little furry little kittens like that. I look at my dog and dogs in general, and I think, isn't God great? And again, if you're an atheist, I don't mean to like, scare you away or bore you. I'm not preaching to you, right? I'm just saying this is how my mind works. Isn't God groovy? Because I believe God designed kittens. I believe God designed dogs, and He designed them perfectly to be like just these loving, wonderful companions. I would never occur to me to create an animal that smiles at you and wags its tail when it's happy or purrs when it's happy, right? And so I like whenever I hang out with pets, I'm grateful to God, right? So that's how I do that with everything, right? I connect everything. Anyway, Whitey gave me agita today. Let me tell you, Whitey likes to get into the kitty litter. Go. She likes doing that. She does. I don't know why, but listen, it's her bag, man. It's her bag, and literally of her kitty litter. So I keep the kitty litter now in my this is my basement, right? This is my office. It's in the basement. This is actually my bomb shelter. So in the event of nuclear war, I'm pretty stoked, right? I'm pretty good. Hopefully season 15 will arrive before the apocalypse. It's being shipped already. Looking forward to a bit of season 15 action, let me tell you. So I'm in my basement. I have out there is my like TV room, man cave, whatever. Then there's a guest room over there. And it's not huge down here, right? This is not a huge area. Then there's a bathroom and shower and this little alcove. Anyway, I digress. So I've been keeping the bags of kitty litter in the shower. We often don't have guests, right? In the shower, in the bathroom over there, right? To keep the cat from breaking into the kitty litter. Go, likes doing it. She likes doing it. I don't know why. Anyway. So, and Whitey's got her little routines. Like, Whitey normally hangs out in the man cave over there. She's like, there's a little space on the couch she likes to snuggle up on and go to sleep. And then, of an evening, I go and sit out there. But by the evening time, she goes upstairs, right? And she hangs out in the bedroom watching TV with my wife. My wife, by the way, has been home for since Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, normally she leaves at like 5 a.m, but she's been sick. Oh my God. She's been super sick. I think she's getting better now. Yeah, she had this cough that's been going on forever. Anyway, I digress. So, and then, like I said, well, there's certain places Whitey would be, right? And I just love we call the cat Whitey because it's, I go, where's Whitey? Anyway. So, I take the dog for a walk, as I do. Dog walking time is about 12:30, unless the dog comes and looks at me like this. Oh, can we go now? Can we go now? I say, no, Daisy. No. It's 10:30. It's too early. I just started work. But I like a nice walk. Yeah, I know, Daisy, but no, you got to chill out. Anyway, so came back, and Whitey wasn't in a normal place. And then Whitey goes around, hangs out other places and every now and again. So I'm working away, and I hear cats meowing outside, like outside my window. I'm like, okay, it's the season. And I'm like, that sounds a bit like Whitey. No, because there's no way to get where to get out. So I was looking around. Eventually, I'm like, let me see if I can find the cat. I go look around and I go upstairs to my house is the main level is you come in, it's like a living room, dining room, it's a large living room, dining room. Then there's a kitchen and a laundry room, and then you go back through the kitchen. It's my bedroom, which is quite where the fun happens, baby. Let me tell you. Yeah, that's where I eat my tuna melts. And I'm not talking code. Anyway. Whitey, so I'm go upstairs. So I got upstairs to like the top story where my kids live. One kid lives there now. The other one's like one just phoned me and saying he's going back into Gaza like right now. I'm like, oh, really? That's great. And he's going to be. By the way, we're going to talk about Gaza in a minute. The calm times are about over from what I can tell. Hang on to your hats. I think shit's about to go down there. Anyway. So I go upstairs and I see the door is open to like there's a large like roof area you can go and hang out in. The kids, when they don't want us to know they're having cigarettes or getting high, they go outside to the balcony. I'm like, we kind of know, and also you're all over 18. It's like what? It's like, you're grown up now, mate. Nothing to hide. Anyway. So so I'm like, I freak out. The cat's got out and has done some kind of Tom Cruise like Mission Impossible act to get. I just go and roam, right? I mean, so I'm like, will I ever see the cat again? So at this point, I know I'm in for several days of stress until I see this cat because I really like the cat. Okay, I like Whitey. She always makes me smile, right? I'm in for several days. Will the cat come back? Will we ever see her again? Will she be in one piece? I don't know. I'm just worrying about the cat, right? I'm looking around, so gone. Can't find her anywhere. So I go out the house. I go across the street. There's a park across the street. Yeah, sometimes cats say, no, can't see her. I don't know. My wife phones me, right? And she says, I found her. I found Whitey. Yeah. So where did you find her? She was locked in my bathroom down here for some reason, right? And she had run amok. She had run amok with the kitty litter. But man, that was just a stressful. I don't know how long it was, half hour. It was not fun, right? It was not fun. I see Queen Charlotte's in the chat. Hello, hello all. Well, Russell, you're giving us a masterclass in annoying a fan base here. Let me show. By the way, Charlotte, I have to tell you, I really love your input into was it Typeforward? Typeforward is like kind of my favorite channel right now, right? Because it always makes me smile, always kind of lifts me up. But like I do like that there's a wide variation of ages and approaches to Doctor Who, right? Which I think is really nice, right? I really think it's a good thing for the world, right? It's not just a good thing for fans; it's a good thing for the world. We have different people, right, with different backgrounds, different outlooks, talking about the same thing, right? I do particularly appreciate Charlotte's input. Anyway, I digress. What was I up to? Now I completely lost my train of thought. What was it? Talking about the cat, Israel. I don't know. So let's talk about Gaza for a few bits because man, I think it's about to get crazy. Because like basically, well, here's the first thing you got to understand. Most people in there are like between 18 and 22, right? And these are all kids, including my son. Although my older son, who's a little bit older, they released him from the army. He's the reserve now. He's like I don't know, colonel or something. I don't know what it is, lieutenant in the reserve forces in the tank. But they released them because it cost them a freaking fortune to keep them running, right? Because they got to pay, they kind of compensate them their salaries. But the enlisted guys, no, yeah, they're free. So they just they released over the last month or so all the reservists, right? Because they're thinking things are going to kick off up north with Lebanon, and they want to give them time to recharge and reconnect with their family, and also not pay their freaking salaries. It's a fortune, right? But they've also there was a lot of leave for the enlisted, the enlisted grunts essentially, who are going to go. So my son had to go back last night, and he just went in today, right? He just went in like about an hour ago. I don't know how long it's going to be in for. My guess, it might be a good few weeks, right? In a week's time, we've got a Jewish holiday called Purim, where you get very, very drunk, which is always kind of. I was going to say it's always kind of like, no, it's not. I'm too old for it now. Right, because I really work hard to get drunk because it's a Torah, it's a Jewish commandment, right? So, but man, oh God, I feel rough the next day, right? I do feel rough the next day. In fact, no, I feel rough the next few days, right? 1 second, I just got a note. No, okay, nothing to me. Nothing I need worry about. Here's the thing, and it's really become apparent, I think, globally, that the difference in the cultural differences between the Arab world and the Western world has really come into high relief since October 7th. Again, especially in places like England, right? And I think to a lesser extent America, but certainly England, where you have we all lived in. I mean, I lived in England. We live and work with Muslim people, and they're totally normal, right? There's nothing weird about them, except when you get to different bits of culture, right? I was just watching The Apprentice, and you had they were doing like this wine tour. So this Muslim woman in it didn't want to do it, quite understandably, right? Because the wine is forbidden to them, right? So they moved her on to the different tour. Right, but that's the difference in culture. Being gay is just not okay in the Arab world. It is, I guess it's somewhat okay in a Muslim world in England. But bottom line is this: they don't like Jews, and they really haven't liked. They were okay with Jews while the Europeans didn't like Jews, right? When we had the Nazis and the pogroms, and the Arabs were actually okay with the Jews, right? They offered us a bit of a haven, and they felt good about themselves because of it. That all changed in the 1870s with the birth of the Zionist movement. The Zionist movement was that a resettlement of this land, right? Which is, again, I don't expect anybody to know this because most Jews don't know this, but the connection between Jews in Judaism and this particular set of land is so profound. It's incredible. Like half the Bible's about working the land. That's not to say we would have any problems sharing it with Arabs, and we tried to do that over and over again, right? 48, he went and said, let's do a 2-state solution. We're like, yeah, okay, we'll go for that. And the Arabs were like, no. The Arabs have always refused to live next to Jews, right? And it's part of their culture, right? It is part of their culture. And so we're getting like vehemently. I think the schism between cultures has really come to play. Like, it's not okay that you have a segment of your population living in fear of going to your capital city every Saturday, even that Saturday. They shouldn't do that. It's because the good Lord says no. You should keep the Sabbath, right? It's not okay. And they're like, yes, it is. Yes, it is okay. I'm like, and the English are like, no, it's not. Yes, it is. We can burn anything we want. And it's like, because we're angry, and that makes everything okay. And it's again a incredibly different culture. I think I saw a video today that really highlights how different the culture is. With a guy who got a one of the airdrop supplies, right? The relief packages. So watch this with me. It blows my bloody mind, right? It absolutely blows my mind.
I've been able to buy this today from the northern part of Gaza.
You can understand he was allowed to buy. He was able to buy that, say, in the northern part of Gaza. I wonder who he's buying it from, right? Because they just drop it and let people grab them. I don't know. So if you don't want to see it, you'll see this is torturous more than aid. Okay. There's so much. The complaint about getting free shit is unbelievable.
That's where most of their airdrop has been dropped, and it's from the Department of Defense, the United States of America. This is the airdrop they drop on us, this small, and then all the airstrikes that they also hit us with.
Okay, America's not hitting you with airstrikes, and as I recall, you were really on board for October 7th. How do I know that? Because everybody in Gaza and in the entire Arab world is okay with what went down for October 7th, except when you say what actually happened, and they go, "No, it didn't, you lying Jew!" Right? So, like, I showed a video the other week where the other day when of one of the hostages giving their testimony, saying they brought them to hospital because that's where the entrance to all their tunnels are. If you say hospital in Gaza, you're talking Hamas base. That's what they all are. That's why there's 32 hospitals in Gaza. Well, there's more than that. There were 32 hospitals in Gaza because they're all Hamas bases. And like all the nurses were like scarily cheering that they had captured Jews. And I'm not exaggerating. That's what really happened, right? They're like, all this stuff, right? And now they're like, it was for us. So anyway, this guy was given, he got some aid. And again, in a place that doesn't look like a smoldering crater. Now, I will say this. I asked my kids, have you seen other places in Gaza where it's not completely destroyed? And they're like, I haven't seen any. So I believe it's probably completely destroyed, right? But I also believe that this has happened in war before, right? And you just will rebuild it. And that's probably the way to go.
So I wondered what's in it. It comes for free, but at the end we still have to buy it.
From who? I'm sorry you got some corrupt government going, oh yeah, you got Hamas. Right, I'm like, I don't know who you're buying it from.
Let's see what's in it. So, starts with the top, crackers, and then applesauce.
Hey, on Saturday this week, right, on Sabbath, we had, my wife made a food that you normally have at Hanukkah, which is Christmas time, called latkes, which is like you've shredded potatoes mixed with egg and salt and fried. And they're very good, right? They're very, very good. But the Americans, not the English, the Americans have them with applesauce. So my wife was looking for applesauce. Like, where's the applesauce? Where's the... And I couldn't find it. She would have died one already. She would have been very happy to get the applesauce. This guy, not so much.
And then, oh, wow, gum. Wallah بالهم فايد راجل. What's this? This is like some, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I just think if you're starving and somebody drops a food package on you, the first thing you are open with is thank you. Not like, what? What? Where is it? Saw this thing. One second. Where is it? Doink. Chocolate? I ordered vanilla. How dare you? This is an affront to all of Islam. I mean, like, and I don't think I'm exaggerating.
Energy bar. This is the most thing I'm excited to have.
Again, if you're starving, living in devastation, as you keep bitching and whining you are, I think you'll be quite happy for any of this stuff.
French vanilla.
I like French vanilla. I don't know why it's turning a nose up at that.
Wow. Cashews. So nuts.
Cashews, okay. Again, this looks like a good little pack. I would be very happy with this, right? I would be very happy. Okay, you know what this really looks like? It looks like it's designed for stoners, right? This looks like munches. They just airdrop munches onto Gaza, which I guess people are peckish.
Peanut butter.
The only thing that tastes like peanut butter, 8 out of 10.
And so overall, it's one of the worst meals I've ever had. I literally ate a piece of every.
Okay, and again, why would you make a video saying "fuck you" for the free shit you give me, right? Why would you do that? It's a difference in culture, right?
Thing because, and imagine I'm fasting all day, hungry, haven't eaten anything, and then I came to eat this. Nothing tastes good. Only the peanut butter.
Oh, really? You mean there's some kind of negative consequence from raping and murdering thousands of people to death, right? Really? I don't know. They were only Jews. Why is everybody getting so uptight?
Tastes like our Canadian peanut butter. Everything else.
What, is he from Canada? Sucks to be excited for something that turns out to be horrible, but falls to eat because nothing else is here. The only thing I enjoyed was unwrapping this. I don't know what to tell you, darling. Good God, like what? Would you want a hand job as well? What? What the hell?
This whole meal is like a 2 out of 10. Not even a 1 out of 10, actually. This is torturing us more than it's being aid.
There you go. It's torturing us more than aid. It's not, right? If trying to help you in any way, and look, God bless them, the Americans are trying to bloody help you, right? They're certainly giving us enough bloody shit, right? They are trying to help you, and you're like, fuck you. We deserve better. No, you don't. Really, you don't. I'm sorry, right? If it was any other country you did this to, any other country, right, in the world, especially any Western, could you imagine if people hang glided in to like Devon, right, and like raped and murdered people, men, women, and children to death, right, and then France like, well, you have to keep providing them aid packages, right, and don't be too forceful. What do you think would happen, right? What do you think would happen if October 7th happened in Barnet, right? I don't think you British will be quite as sanguine as you're telling the Israelis. In fact, and again, it makes me so crazy. In Desert Storm, right? Exactly the same combat scenario. There was 4 to 8 civilian casualties for every enemy combatant. For in Gaza, it's, I think, 2.5 to 1, right? Which is that should become us figures as well. It's just so weird, right? Like when everybody else does this, it's all fine. It's all fine. Oh well, what choice do we have? Oh look, yeah, we dropped a nuclear bomb on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. The Japanese were close to being defeated there, but we thought we'd do it anyway. Killing way more people than Americans were killed, like millions more than Americans. Actually, I don't know the number, but killing way more. I would have thought more. Like 2 million people died in Germany from the British bombing, right? So, which is way more than the English that were killed. But I know, but still we got the whole world like bleating and moaning, especially the Irish. Why are the Irish so fucking sanctimonious? Like, what the hell? Yeah, what's this thing over here? Yeah, I call the clip Sanctimonious Irish.
If you forgive the poor tempted Irish, Tamasha Walia, I'm at home.
President Biden.
And that's President Biden when it was together, right? Is this the woman from is going to be in Doctor Who was in Dairy Girls?
President Biden. President Biden.
I love the way they say that. In the face of devastating crisis, okay, it is devastating and it is a crisis, right? But you want to end it? You want to end it tomorrow? You want to end it today? Give the fucking hostages back and unconditionally surrender. You want to force that to happen? You go to war. You threaten Qatar with military strikes, right? It's over by the next day. It is over by... But no! Those Jews who are raped and murdered and children were burnt to death alive, right? They're the ones who are out fucking control, fucking Jews. I mean, look at that, which is going through every one of these people's heads.
Face of this devastating crisis, we call for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza and Israel.
Oh, you mean an unconditional surrender to Nazis so we can be raped and murdered again? I guess so. We're only Jews, aren't we, darling? It's not like it fucking matters, does it?
We are making this plea to prevent further civilian losses. And
but not Jewish. I mean, you should know there are like hundreds of, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of displaced Jews right now as well. They can't go to their homes in the south. They can't go to their homes in the north because they're under constant rocket fire. And again, would you not suggest stop the constant rocket fire if you would want the military assault to end? But no, it's just those fucking Jews you got to talk to, isn't it?
Secure life-saving aid access for those in Gaza.
Amnesty International found US-made munitions killed 43 civilians.
Heaven to Betsy, really? How many US-made munitions kill people in Desert Storm or Hiroshima or Korea? I think a lot more. How many US-made munitions kill people in, like, right now? Right now with Assad, like in Libya? And the only reason that you give a shit about civilians being killed, right, is because you can blame Jews for it. That is literally the only reason you're upset.
That's 19 children, 14 women and 10 men.
It's time.
Well, you telling me it was all children. Okay. And also, wait a minute. Did you just assume their gender? You had 19 children, 14 women, 10 men. I'm sorry, darling. What are you doing assuming people's gender? What's wrong with you?
It's time to suspend the weapon transfers to Israel.
Oh, yes, because those fucking Jews, they don't just lie down and let you murder them. They're fucking uppity Jews. What? How do they not let the Arabs just murder them? What? Don't they know that they're just Jews?
Let's unite in
and fuck the Jews over.
Demanding the removal of restrictions on vital humanitarian supplies.
What, like bullets and missiles and anything you can use to kill Jews? Restoration of service. There's not. Okay, darling. There's nothing left. You need to rebuild the streets. There's no pavement, right? There's no restoration of service. It's going to take about 5 years minimally to rebuild, right? That's if they stop with their bullshit now.
And restoration of services.
Ensuring that Gazans have essential water, fuel, food, and medical support they critically need.
What was it? Did you not care about that on October 6th when, up until then, when Hamas, the government of Gaza, were digging up the water pipes to make... And I'm not making this up. You know why you don't have water in Gaza? You had water plants, right? You had water supplies. You had electricity. But your government dug them up to make missiles out of them because killing Jews is more important than providing water for the poor Palestinian Gazans. Oh, heaven to Betsy. I mean, we couldn't give a shit about any other person being killed unless we can blame Jews. I mean, literally, I couldn't care less about any other civilian dying anywhere. But if I can blame a Jew for it, oh, it's so good.
Lastly, we urge the lifting of the 16-year blockade on Gaza and the dismantling of the apartheid system.
There is no apartheid system imposed on the Palestinians by the Israeli government. There is no apartheid system imposed on the Palestinian by the Israeli government. That is a fantasy. If there's an apartheid system, why do we have Palestinians working on the Supreme Court or in the army or in every business or in hospitals? Everywhere. There is no apartness in Israel, you fucking ignorant Jew-hating cunt. But maybe fucking ignorant Jew-hating cunt, that seems to be synonymous for Irish at the moment. And again, I don't want to tar the entire place with that brush, but like, what the fuck? I mean, like, your dripping Jew hatred is so freaking obvious.
Imposed on Palestinians by the Israeli government.
President Biden, I remember fondly your recent trip to Ireland.
Nobody else does.
And how proud we all were of our American-Irish president.
What were you proud of? Like, just out of curiosity, what were the wins that you really liked that he did? Look, honestly, the only thing he's ever done that's any good is support Israel. And again, being a religious fundamentalist fanatic, I think it's like that part in the Bible when the Jews had just left Egypt And then God hardened Pharaoh's heart and said, let us go and chase after the Jews.
I feel you are a good man, and I appeal to that goodness now, to hear
to fuck the Jews over because they're too fucking uppity.
the desperate cries of the people of Gaza.
But the desperate cries of the Jews, put your fingers in the ears. Put your fingers in the... And he's not going to. It's all about the different lobbies. I don't know why they are so pro-Israel, right? It's so weird. As somebody who's a beneficiary of it, I have no idea why, but okay. I think it's because normies are like, remember October 7th.
President Biden, you have a special responsibility.
Let's foster peace.
Yes, and the best way to foster peace and justice is to murder all the Jews in the most disgusting, heinous way possible.
Justice.
And the protection of human rights in this critical moment.
And again, did you give a shit about Jewish human rights? No, you don't, right? No, you don't. Oh, Amnesty International, bloody hell. What relentless cunts they are. Speaking of relentless cunts, then I've gone late. We really got to get to chat. Okay, one last thing, then we get into chat, then we get into Doctor Who, okay? This I find absolutely fascinating. You think you're going to see a disinformation happening in real time, right? This freaking incredible. So the Trumpster said this recently, I think yesterday.
Mexico has taken, over a period of 30 years, 34% of the automobile manufacturing business in our country. Think of it. Went to Mexico. China now is building a couple of massive plants where they're going to build the cars in Mexico and they think that they're going to sell those cars into the United States.
I remember 2016 in the campaign, and he really delivered on this stuff. Again, if you don't like Trump, that's fine. But did you like world peace and money? Because we have both of those things.
United States with no tax at the border. Let me tell you something to China. If you're listening, President Xi, and you and I are friends, but he understands the way I deal, those big monster car manufacturing plants that you're building in Mexico right now, and you think you're going to get that, you're going to not hire Americans, and you're going to sell the cars to us now, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line. And
honestly, there is no policy I heard. I know Trump embarrassed me a lot, right? It was like, oh God, why did he say that? Oh no. Did you say braggadocious? That was a Trump thing, was it? Yeah, there's a lot of things Trump did that was really embarrassing, especially as a Trump supporter. I make no bones about that whatsoever. But still, like, what I agreed with all the party. Like, why aren't the European countries paying their the 2% GDP into NATO? Like, why is that okay? I don't understand.
You're not going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected, now if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it. But they're not going to sell those cars. They're building massive factories. A friend of mine, all he does is build car manufacturing plants. He's the biggest in the world.
All right, fine. So that seems like a reasonably innocuous campaign thing to say. But here, look at the bullshittery, right? NBC, it's not NBC News. This is not like a small news outlet. Former President Donald Trump vowed at a rally there will be a bloodbath if he's not re-elected in November. If that's not enough reason to lock it, is that not reason enough to lock him up now? Well, Stephen Dancer, okay, here's the thing. People who support Biden, who hate Trump, they are low information voters. They are just, they're dumb, right? Tim Paul was posting, is the culture war a schism of intelligence? And it could be, right? There's a really fascinating thing. If you ask somebody, if you didn't have breakfast yesterday, how would you feel? And they can't answer you. They go, but I had breakfast yesterday. Or, but that means they're a dummy, right? And there's apparently, 50% of the world who doesn't have an internal monologue going on in their heads. And that's just insane to me, right? Now, but Stephen Gallagher, certainly, Stephen Dancer, who I know is Stephen Gallagher. Oh, no, certainly not Stephen Gallagher. Stephen Dancer seems to be one of those people. And look, this thing is flying around. New York Times. Trump says some migrants are not people and predicts a bloodbath if he loses. I mean, that's even worse, isn't it? CNBC, Trump says there will be a bloodbath if he doesn't get elected in November. as he campaigns for the GOP's Bernie, whatever. Weirdly enough, CNN actually gets it closest. Trump warns of bloodbath for auto industry and country if he loses election. I'm amazed, right? NDTV, Donald Trump warns of bloodbath. Yeah, the intimation is that he's going to start a revolution on the right. Because again, I think like people who hated Trump, they still believe that the Russians like the Russians' interference had him win the election, right, in 2016. I think they still, even though they know it's not true, which is really bizarre, right? It's really totally bizarre. Fine. Let's get to the chat. Kids, I think this is quite a good indication of where things are right now. Look, this production of Doctor Who thus far has been a freaking disaster. And it's like they've had every opportunity to be very successful, right? And they've just blown it. They've absolutely just blown it. My belief is Millie Gibson was fired, and I think the primary reason is she goes against the messaging of the show. Who was it? Somebody in the chat said, not in the chat, in the comments said that Eurovision is the gayest night of the year. And I'm like, yes, it is. Like, everything seems to be geared around making the show exclusively for gay people. I think with the idea is, whoa, we made it for straight people all this time. Now it's gay. No! You made it for straight people because we're the vast majority. I'm sorry. I don't mind having gay people on the show. I don't mind there being shows for gay people. I do mind taking a show for a general audience and saying, no, we're going to make it for 3% of people instead of, well, which is more, by the way, than Jodie Whittaker years where they made it for 1%. But literally everything they do has been a disaster. Everything they do. So, yeah, I think Millie Gibson was fired essentially for being going against message showing that she's heterosexual and white. And I think she also is a better actress than Shooty. On the Christmas special, she's the one. And it's not just because she's hot. Look, I make her look like I highly sexualize her on these thumbnails because it's funny, mainly. It makes me laugh. Right, and it turns me on as well, but mainly because it makes me laugh. But like, she's beautiful. She's absolutely beautiful. She wasn't like droolingly, glammed up and hot in the episode. She was just a very attractive young lady, right? Which is fine. But man, she carried the emotional heart of the episode, not Shooty, and I think she probably acted Shooty off the bloody screen. So I think that's why they decided to get rid of her. And then she probably did something that a 19-year-old would do, like go and get drunk or something. They were looking for some excuse. So this is how Disney works. So this is how they got rid of Roseanne Barr. This is how they got rid of Gina Carano. So you can't tell me, oh, no, they wouldn't do that. Of course they would do that, right? Absolutely they would do that. It's the way they do things, right? It's absolutely the way they do things, but everything is just blowing up in their faces, right? But and this plan of so I'm a bit confused about the plan because on the 11th at midnight, right, they're dropping 2 episodes, but on Disney Plus at the same time they're dropping 1 episode. So are they going to be 2 episodes ahead on iPlayer? I don't know, right? Or are they going to skip a week? I really don't know, right? I think they could be doing that, right? They might drop those 2 episodes and then they don't drop an episode on iPlayer the week after, but they play it on TV. Or they stay a week ahead. I don't know. They haven't been clear about that. But, the big question about the new Doctor is how are they going to fuck up next? Because everything they have done, and the only thing they did right was hiring Millie Gibson, and then they fired her, right? It's like how they keep fucking up is beyond me. But how are they going to fuck up next, right? I don't know. Like maybe have glitter orgies in the TARDIS. Nothing would surprise me, right? Absolutely nothing would surprise me. Fine, with that, let's get to the chat. The only status here, I'm trending May 10th, and don't blame me. Well, I don't know. Here's the thing. I still like Church on Ruby Road. But the thing is, it's like watching Mandalorian season 1. You're waiting for the woke to hit you in the face, like a giant kipper being slapping you in the face. Like you're just waiting for it to go down. So yeah, I hear what you're saying, mate. I hear what you're saying. Weirdly enough, I'm not going to be able to watch it because it's Sabbath for me, right? I'm going to wait till Sabbath is out, watch the episode, then go live. Oh, by the way, a channel note. I am doing a live stream on Saturday night. Saturday night is the beginning of a Jewish holiday called Purim. You got to hear the scroll be read, called the Book of Megillah, the Scroll of Esther. But that's starting at about 6 o'clock. That's 4 o'clock your time in England. I should be done by about 6:30. I should be done by about 7:30, 7:45. Which means if I stream at 8 o'clock my time, which is 6 o'clock your time, I'll be in good stead. I'll be in good stead. Yeah, and because normally what happens is the kids go out and go to parties and get drunk on Purim night, and I kind of come home and watch TV. Which kind of works for me too. So yeah, I am doing a show Saturday, Sunday. No, Sunday I'll be Brahms and Liszt, mate. Darren Emmers, how are you doing, Darren? Thank you for joining us. Oh, I just remembered. One sec. If I comment, I can if I comment on the chat. So, hello. This is me commenting in the chat so I can interact with it. That was a trick taught to me by PD Rich. So there you go. Fine. So that should let me interact with the chat now. Right, where are we up to? So Darren Evans, hello to Jonathan Cox here. Charlotte is here. Hello. Oh, well, Russell, you're giving us a masterclass how to annoy the entire fan base. Well, yes. This is the thumbnail for tomorrow. Ross Lee Davis gives fandom the finger. I generally couldn't give a shit about any of you. How marvelous. You hear a blast off on the gayest night of the year. Yeah, none of this is good news, mate. None of this is good news. But it could be worse. I wanted a mint chocolate chip and they sent me Tutti Frutti. Anyway. Where are we up to? Substack says Darren M. He is a smart man, right? He's a smart man. Where are we up to? Sovereign says, yes, Doctor Who's the what? The Amravians? What the hell? What's an Amra? Doctor Who's for the Amravians now. Screw the British. Oh, the Americans. Sorry. That should, yeah. Oh, wait. Okay, it's fine. Now I've got to do it in the German one. Yes, Doctor Who's now for the Amravians now. Screw the British that pay for the... Oh, Ekithop. I mean, it really is. It's such a slap in the face, right? It really is. So that, they launch it at a time comfortable for New York. I'm really pissed off, right? It's really just wrong. And I'm not even benefiting it by it at all. I just think it's wrong. Where are we up to now? You can tell that the shorter in the half-baked... I'm an absolute founder. I'm sorry about that. Whether you can tell that one is shorter in half-baked, I have no idea. Okay. Well, how's the Eki delivery return going? Oh, fine. Yeah, there's a whole conversation going on. I didn't realize. Fine. Amaro is here. Shalom, Amaro. Thank you for joining us, Bobby D75. Rusty's theme song is Uncle Fuck Up from South Park. Yes. Oh, God. Man. What? Oh, man. Anthony Dwell is here. I still haven't read the letter, which is literally sitting next to me. I forgot to do something else as well tonight. Yeah. How am I going to remind myself? Ooh, do I have a post? I need post-it notes. I said I'll do something on somebody's website for us today, and I forgot. Oh man, I don't have any notes to put. Note to self. I got to put a note to get myself post-it notes. Anyway, I read the piece today. Me too. Thank you, Rabbi. We enjoy you doing. Yes. Thank you very much. I also enjoy doing it. Mum was really good at accounts and bookkeeping. The answer lives on. Yes. London's gone nuts. I do agree with you. I'm avoiding London at the moment. I used to read it regularly for Food and Planet and Falls, mostly, to be honest. Well, I used to go to school in Camden Town, Jewish free school, right? Now they moved it to, I don't know, North London somewhere. But that was great because you used to be able to get on a bus and go. You hop on the Northern Line at Camden Town, will take you straight up to Tottenham Court Road, and I'll go to Forbidden Planet 2. That's when they're in Denmark Street and Giles Street. Oh, I loved it. Right, you go around the corner, and then it was Comic Showcase, and you walk down to Leicester Square, which is where I saw all the movies. That was great, and also I used to love in the winter getting hot chestnuts, and that's not talking code, or shellfish again before I was religious. Like I used to love getting a pint of Welks. Oh man, and there's cashiers in cages. No foils. I remember that. Right, you had to go and pay for it, and then they pick it. It was weird, man. That was like. It felt like going to Grace Brothers going to foils, right? Most of them are crazy middle-class whites who skip over the bit about Ghost not being popular in Gaza. Well, you know, bacon sandwich in there. God, I hope so. Man, I love a bacon sandwich. Oh no, they don't. I don't think they will put a bacon sandwich in. I do remember when the special forces were gearing up. They had. The Druze, right? The Druze are, was it the Druze or the Christians? I can't remember. It was like the Christian Arabs or Druze. One of them, one of these groups bought bacon fat, right, for all the special forces to rub their bullets in. we weren't. I mean, I think that's the extent of our insane war crimes, right? Oh man, Darren's Canadian. What can you do? Trudeau is the worst ever. I mean, like, do you reckon Justin Trudeau is Castro's son? Because I do, right? I do. There's free food, there's torture. It is. It's just crazy, right? Yeah, no part on Israel. Just keep saying it, right? Maybe it will turn up. Maybe it will turn up. China. They're coming from China. See. When I was running in 2016, you could take the piss out of him, like, what did he know? Now he turned out to be right? Now he turns out to be right for everything. PD Rich is here. I forgot I was supposed to sing hello to people. PD Rich is here. PD Rich. Thank you for joining us. Fly Highlanders. I'm Bridget. I love Trump. That guy had so much more enjoyment to life. Well, that's why I got in the Trump train. Because I just thought it would be funny. Which is honestly my motivation for most things. If I think it's funny, I'm probably going to do it. That really is. Like, unfortunately, my kids are the same thing. I have much hope for Space Marine 2. What's Space Marine 2? I don't know. Peter, it says, anybody remember the Guardian Shredder from New Hitman? Built a giant and threw Hillary and Black. Well, you know, the world might be better for that. Petey Richards gang cannot stand Eurovision. No, I understand that, right? But I think, who was it? I can't remember in the comments. Somebody called it the gayest night of the year. And I'm like, that's pretty fair. And, you know, let's be straight. You can be, like, totally on board. You're totally straight and still be, and if you love Eurovision, you're probably pretty gay too, right? Millie must have been fired as an actor. You do not walk away from a show without first taking a good load of wages and building up your reputation, like Jenna Coleman. Absolutely. And I just think the knife was in beforehand, right? I think the knife was in. Rosalie Davis will be upset by a thumbnail. That's a good thing. Well, yeah, that's the other thing. Have you noticed since his work has gone downhill how thin his skin has got, right? It's really crazy. Fine. Dwelly. Says Andy Dwelly. All together now. Fucking that up. Fuck it. What are we talking about? What was that? I don't know. Tzvi Lebetkin, you're now interacting with chat. Well, I guess so. That's true. I'm talking to you. But I should be able to click on things, shouldn't I? I don't know. What am I up to? Rosalie Davis too only cares about the new Disney Plus audience. Screw the UK fans, says Woodhouse 122. It's not he only cares about them, but it's they're very obviously the priority, right? They're very obviously the priority. Oh, sad news. Sad news that Peter Rich tells me that Forbidden Planet now sucks. Oh, I used to love Forbidden Planet. Oh, man, what a bummer. Everything turns to shit, right? Entropy. The original Forbidden Planet was really good. Man, they had some great signings as well. This was back when comic book artists would just use sketches for free all the time. at conventions. It was wonderful. But yeah, I remember I went to what year was it? Must be 83, 84. I don't know. There was a Brian Talbot signing for Nemesis the Warlock. And he sold me his The Adventures of Luther Arkwright. And blew my mind, right? I love that book, man. That really, it was one of the first like real adult books, comics I had read. Rabbi gets to heaven and is awarded a pool product. Oh God, yes, man, I would love that. Wouldn't that be great? Oh, yeah, shrimp wrap bacon. I mean bacon wrap prawns. Oh God, yes. That would be good. I remember just a rumor that there was pork fat in the bullets led to the Sepoy Mutiny. I have no idea. I don't even know what the Sepoy Mutiny is. How do we know that? Okay, was it YHVH is the Jewish word? Is really angry. He banned bacon. No, that's not. That wasn't. There are many other ways you can see he got as angry. That was actually an expression of love, right? Because he made like literally the best food ever, and he says all you got to do to get eternal life, I'm not even going to apply it to everybody, just the Jews, right? All you got to do to get eternal life in heaven is not eat it, right? And yeah, you can make fake bacon, which is pretty darn good. Although I have to tell you, I am a big fan of the European bacon over American bacon. Americans, they like to fry it so it's like completely crispy. Now, sometimes that's good. I remember when I was a young whippersnapper, we were in the 70s, right? We were on maybe the early 80s. My parents took us on a family vacation to America, and we went to Disney World. We stayed in the Contemporary Hotel, it was wonderful. It's like that's the one where the monorail goes through the hotel. Anyway, it wasn't that hotel. It was another hotel. We had a Disney breakfast, and it was the least healthy thing I've ever eaten. And this was still about 40 years ago, I should say. Maybe 50 years ago. Which was two, like, this thick slices of bread, right? This thick slices of bread, fried together with banana in the middle, right? And deep fried together, and then coated with caster sugar, and then a couple of slices of rashers of crispy bacon on top. That was good. Generally speaking, though, I like the chewy Danish bacon. Oh, it's so good. Oh, my favorite use of bacon, right? And this just goes back to my childhood. My grandmother, God rest her soul, you bring me bacon sandwiches, right? I used to love that cheap bread and chewy bacon and a bit of off-brand ketchup. Oh, God. Oh, that is through the salt. That shouldn't give you an erection, right? That shouldn't give a normal human being an erection. But it does. There's another shop that had British books on the ground floor and American ones in the basement between stations and falls. I can't remember the name. Oh, I know. Yeah. I know. Well, I always loved walking to Leicester Square via Soho, where all the knocking shops were, because it just felt so adult. It felt so grown up, seeing all the red light district, which was like really kind of pathetically small, right? But I mean, I remember the smells, man. Oh man, I used to love that. I really did. It was a major factor. The Indian Mutiny claims there were pork fat and cholesterol beef fat. So all the sepoys were angry. Blimey, I'm not surprised. Right? I'm not surprised. Clark says it might have been beef. The sepoys were local troops employed in India, and during the Raj British Empire, you had to really bite the case to release the powder. Okay. And it was rumored that the paper cases were waterproof with animal fat, which means if you would eat the fat, then you bit the powder. Okay. I would say, none of this would be, I would say, is impossible. Like, no, it cannot be, right? It cannot be. Oh, I forgot to show this. Yeah, one second. Let me just do this before we move on, Doctor Who. I should have put this in the Israel bit because this is freaking awesome. By the way, we have The Bow Hype. The Bow Hype, is that right? The Bow Hype is here. For those of you who love Tzvi Lebetkin, an awesome cryptocurrency Jupiter coin could have limitless money for all the people. Oh, dude. Listen, if I could go back in time and buy like, $1,000 of Bitcoin in 2009, yeah. But like, I don't know. Look, I was interested a little bit by what are those things called? NFTs, because I just like them on an artistic level. But yeah, listen, I don't know. I am the last person to ask financial advice from. I have no idea what's going on with that, but okay. Not sure that might be the method of loading, might be the source for the phrase bite the bullet. No, bite the bullet is they would bite down on a bullet when they had to amputate something, when they had to pull, fish a bullet out someone, right? That's what I always assumed it was for. Anyway, I'm going to splice, when I put together a video, I'm going to splice this together, right? Because I think this is amazing. I want to tell you a story. Last week's BBC's Verify team posted a demonizing report that accused Israel of abusing Palestinian medics. The BBC Verify story relied on 6 separate sources, and I think you should meet the people the BBC relies on. So here we go. First is Soham Ibrahim. Her social... Oh, it's a woman. I don't know. Her social media account full of anti-Israel venom. On X, she even liked posts that celebrated October 7th and supported Hamas. This woman is not a random bystander. She works for the BBC. Really? Well, that verified. This is why nobody trusts a word that comes out of your mouth, BBC. Second was Marie-Josie Al-Azi, another BBC employee. Here she's openly calling for Shakira to boycott Israel. Okay, who's Shakira? Oh, Shakira's the musician. I use that word lightly. We ask you to act in justice and counsel your concert in Tel Aviv. Israel, since decades, the state of Israel has been violating international law and the rights of the Palestinian people. Yeah, but again, don't worry about anything that they do, because they're only doing it to Jews. The third was a Palestinian Mu'ath al-Khatib. His timeline is also no different from the anti-Israel activists. And in 2016, he got triggered by a number of Jewish people he saw in Thailand. So I flee the country on the far east of the island of Kahuma. I find more Jews than people there. It's not Israelis they hate. It's Jews, right? Those are the Arabic-speaking journalists that BBC Verify team trusted and relied on. But then the BBC also rely on Gaza eyewitnesses. It's important you should meet them as well. One was Dr. Atif Hout. Here he is celebrating a rocket strike on Israeli citizens. Gaza is promised and delivered. Shut up, all the years and hypocrites. Shut up, the politicians. The politics are normalizing and surrender. Thanks to promising and kept promises, Jerusalem and Gaza. Blah, 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 blah. Another was Abdul Sahar. Here he's publicly glorifying, celebrate. Yes. And then you have people turn around and go, oh, look at those evil Jews. The last was Hatib Rabbi, who was clever enough to create a new social media profile in December so people would think he's a doctor rather than a professional political activist or PLO. That's Palestine Liberation Organization. Here he is. He is a Fatah activist and another one who glorifies terrorism. That's it. 3 Arabic journalists who support terrorism, hate Jews, and 3 Gazans who support terrorists, hate Jews. There are people who rely on the BBC to create their BBC Verify reports. This is how mainstream journalism and anti-Semitism spreads. We fund this. Yeah, we also fund Doctor Who. We're getting screwed over with that as well. Well, at least I don't. I don't pay my license fee. BBC Verify are amateur anti-Israel hacks who couldn't verify a tomato. A bunch of premise naive fools with greatly exaggerated opinions of their own abilities. That's true. With greatly exaggerated opinions of their own abilities and intelligence. That is the problem with everything in the world right now. People think they're not shit. They should, you're not doing anybody a favor when you look a completely incompetent person in the eye and says, you are just total shit, right? You are just total utter shit, because I think they need to hear it. It is time for the BBC to stop with the toxic anti-Israel agenda and accept it has a problem. It never will. It never will. Some of this work appeared on the Mail on Sunday, but it was put together with the help of Camera Org UK team. Well, there you go. So BBC, right? BBC. What can you do? BBC aren't really doing well with anybody right now. BBC don't like Jews, but just beneath Jews, Doctor Who fans, right? Doctor Who. And that's how bad it's got. The BBC are treating Doctor Who fans nearly as badly as they treat Jews. Oh my God. I mean, guys, welcome to the club, right? Welcome to the club. Doctor Who fans slam ridiculous BBC unacceptable major change announced. Again, what's unacceptable about it is it should debut on BBC One at first. And I don't think it should hit iPlayer, quite frankly, until after it's been on there, right? I think it could debut at the same time on BBC and on Disney Plus around the world. But like for it to get it before the BBC, it's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. Doctor Who fans have been left raging. Well, I think that's actually fair, right? I do think that's fair. After BBC announced that 2 episodes of this cult sci-fi show will air midnight to coincide with the respectful time in the US. So, are they getting 2 episodes as well on Disney Plus? Oh God! I mean, Doctor Who magazine comes out next week, or does it? Oh, God. Hey, let's see when the next one comes out. Doctor Who magazine is all the journalistic integrity of Hello magazine. Now, it is just shit. I mean, like it's really worse than it was under the Jodie era. Jodie era, it was sanctimonious and hated you if you weren't a massive political bigot, right? Now it's just like empty pap. Oh, I can't wait to see that Millie Gibson interview. That's just bizarre, right? That's just when's this coming out? 28th. So it's today's Sunday the 17th. Oh yeah, so next week. It'll be out next week. Man, I wish I ditched Doctor Who magazine and got the Chronicles, right? Those Chronicles things look excellent. To find fans less curious after the show pushed back the schedule to air the first 2 episodes of the sci-fi show to midnight so it can air the same episodes at the US at a decent time. So they don't know either, apparently. It's just fucking chaos. I'm sorry. Right? I mean, you announce when it's coming out and it's like still unclear. The change means Doctor Who fans won't be sitting down on a Saturday evening to watch their beloved show, with the episode instead landing on iPlayer at midnight in order to keep the new Disney partner over in America happy. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to teach you a Jewish word. It's a shonda. It's a disgrace. It's absolute disgrace. And look, they try and keep putting Millie Gibson in some kind of Burke-like attire, but they can't stop her looking hot. I mean, that's just the bottom line. And so now, Die Hard fans have expressed their disgust at the schedule time, as it's going against tradition to please the American audience. On May 11th, taking to Twitter, formerly known as taking to X, formerly known as Twitter, one person fumed, "I don't care if it's down to the time zone. Doctor Who is airing at midnight in the UK, so it can air at a respectable time for the Yanks. Is when I start flag bashing. Burn down the White House immediately." Well, that seems a little extreme. But listen, it could be worse, mate. Right? It could be worse. They could be sending you food packages as well, those damned Americans. I mean, like, we've seen how people didn't like them today. Meanwhile, another viewer said, might move to America so I can watch Doctor Who at tea time again. A third pen, can Americans take a step back from piss-taking for 1 minute and realize Doctor Who has been an event television for the UK for over 60 years. It's ingrained in our culture. It's made in Britain. Actually, I was talking with Dr. Alex today. So Dr. Alex's stuff is season 14, of which my episode apparently is going to air head-to-head with the first episode of season 1, right? My episode is The Hunt for the Worshipful. Was it the Worshipful Lord Gallifrey? Something like that. I wrote it. I should remember. But we were talking about, why is it important to have British writing, right? People, it's predominantly a British writing staff on Doctor Who. Now, don't be wrong. I'm all for American voice. I would love to see J. Michael Straczynski as showrunner, right? I would certainly like to see him over Russell T. Davies, quite frankly, right? I think he's great, right? But the thing is this, he was talking about the stuff he was writing, and when he put cultural expressions in, right? We do it organically without thinking. Like when we put in Shakespearean quotes, it's like, all's well, all's well that ends well, right? It's just that it's part of our culture, right? If you're American, it's not really part of your culture, right? It's like me trying to organically insert. Can I organically insert, darling? It's like not Oscar Wilde, Mark Twain, or Edgar Allan Poe, right? It's not something I grew up. I mean, I grew up with it, but not like ingrained in my culture. Meanwhile, another viewer said, I thought that I speak for everyone in the UK when I say we want to watch it at 7 p.m. on the 10th of May on BBC One. Appealing to you, actually, you want to watch it on the 11th. Appealing to your minuscule American audience is not it. I agree with you completely, right? Well, I feel pointing out time travel is actually required because I'm unable to watch it at midnight. As 6% said, it's like global accessibility, but the show shouldn't air at 7 p.m. UK time, and the rest of the countries follow that instead. I think that makes a lot of sense, right? I think that makes a lot of sense. Feels like prioritizing the show for American and not Europe, and I'm not a fan of that. You shouldn't be, right? Can I just remind you my thumbnail? Because I think it's so incredibly accurate, right? I think it's so incredibly right. What is it? Big question about the new era of Doctor Who is how they gonna fuck up next. I mean, and you can't say, oh, they're gonna do more gay shit. No, they fuck up in every way, shape, and form. It's incredible, right? It's incredible. Where we are doing? Is this it? At the right window? Yes, right window. Simultaneous release all over the world is a great idea, but releasing the episodes in the middle of the night in Europe and primetime US is nonsense. Why didn't you stay with the common primetime Europe, midday America, so we can all enjoy it together like the specials? A few percent. Okay, absolutely correct. The BBC actually say anything about earlier this week? The broadcaster braced itself for a barrage abuse when it announced a major change. The first, oh no, it didn't. It said, "Oh, how marvelous! We got such a big announcement coming on Friday." Friday, where they can run and fucking hide. Oh man, yeah, it's just it's when you want to bury a story, you put it out on Friday afternoon, and it's actually quite a successful ploy because. But by the time we get to Wednesday this week, it's going to be just a thing at that point. With that kind of serious audience, so you see Doctor and Ruby, played by Millie Gibson, travel through space and time on adventures to unknown lands, the Regency era in England, to outer space, the world in the 60s. Now, here's the thing: I still think the building blocks they have for this season, right, or for the stories, they sound. It sounds like it could be good, but I don't know. I don't know how I'm still a fucking optimist at this point, right? It's beyond me, right? It's absolutely beyond me how I remained optimistic. Because nothing about this is good, right? Nothing about this is good. At last, my greatest delight to release a whole new season. Blah, 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 blah. Shomron said, at last, it's my great delight to release a whole new season of the Doctor and Ruby's adventures together. Monsters, chasers, villains, and a terrifying secret that's been spanning space and time for decades. Oh, we're going to talk about that. Don't miss a second. Along with the teaser trailer, which I'll play that quickly. And for me, the teaser trailer looked quite exciting. But again, I'm easily impressed. Did I? Oh, here it is. Doink.
Ready for this?
Oh, come on.
Give me a number, give me a year. It's gonna be a moment.
Here it comes.
Yeah, I just think Millie Gibson probably acted him off the screen, right? I think she probably majorly overshined him. May 11th, unless you're in America. Now, I do quite like this, the wink to camera. And I like this as well. I think the design of this is very good, right? Very modern, very hip. Yeah. But yeah, no, I do like that. Just from a design standpoint, I think it's strong. We're using such a bit. We've got such a big announcement. We're using AI troll accounts. I know, says PD Rich. Not how are they going to F up. It's not that how will they F up the first and many times in one show. Well, again, that's what you have to come to my channel to find out, right? How they screw up the gay stuff is so bad that even gay people, that not even gay people, like exactly. Oh, that's the thing. It's not for gay people; it's for queer people, right? And I think they're probably that's quite a good description. Now, having said that, I think the idea of having a season with new monsters exclusive probably a good idea, but who knows, right? Don't miss a second. Along with the teaser trailer, social media accounts, and no time travel required. Where will you be watching BBC iPlayer on the 11th and the 10th May? We're available on Disney Plus. It's such a bad idea, right? It's such a bad idea. It staggers your mind, right? It staggers the imagination how bad an idea it is. Now, here's something interesting, though. And again, it's weird commenting on this because it's not really working out, right? Like, I'm not really that excited for this new era, right? But here we have Susan Twister play Huge Foe. So this looks like the big bad for the era, and you see it ties back to the what's it called again? The Mavity thing. What's the bloody name? The name I have going from my head is Charles Dance. It's not Charles Dance. He did not discover gravity. Isaac Newton discovered gravity, and apparently a gay brown Isaac Newton did it now. So fine. According to an article in The Sun, Susan Twister has already appeared briefly as two different characters in Doctor Who specials. Will play a major antagonist in the Shooty Gatwa's Doctor Who 2024 series of Doctor Who. So, okay, so I saw her very clearly, with the housekeeper for I think you don't know who's the second one. Just appeared in the first special of Wild Blue Yonder as Mrs. Meridew. So I think Newton's housekeeper. Meridew encourages Newton to find inspiration and a fine Lincoln summer day in 1666. It also happens to be the day the TARDIS haphazardly lands on an apple tree above him, apparently mishearing something. Donna says Newton's laws of universal gravitation is now the laws of mavitation. It's such a again. That is so indicative of this new era. Like, it's just shit. Oh, Mavity. And they keep referring back to Mavity, right? They won't let it go. And don't get me wrong, I like the glove thing he had in Church on Ruby Road. Just like the Mavity. It's like, hey, let me call back to the second shittest thing about the anniversary specials. Oh, no. The third, well, I don't know. Second shittest thing, the third shittest thing, I don't know. It's up there, right? Let me call back to one of the shit things I just did. I mean, it only be worse if he bumped into Davros doing a jig again. Fuck me, that was awful. Oh God, just everything he's done has been an absolute failure. I'm sorry. Probably, I would say, Church on Ruby Road owes a lot of its success to Millie Gibson, which is probably why she was canned, right? That's what I think. So they're apparently misidentified. Second time, we see, the Christmas special of Church on Ruby Road. Now it's 2023, and Twist's new appearance appears at a club as a woman who looks like a hippie with a bohemian hairstyle. The woman heckles Ruby Sundays, Millie Gibson's band, and strangely asks for a 16th century Christmas carol, Gaudette. Really? And again, that's the one bit that really pulled me out of that Church on Ruby Road, having the I assume it's a trans woman. It seemed like a bloke dressed up as a woman in a band. I was like, fuck me. Like, everything is about saying, yay, not being straight is good. You should try not being straight. Be queer. Oh, everyone loves being queer. Being queer is so happy. well, I hate to tell you this. Most people find real happiness with family, marriage, family, and children, right? Just the reality, right? It's just the reality. Triad is referenced by Mel. Was it so? Triad is referenced by Mel Bush in the 6th anniversary of the Giggle as she attempts to use dynamic software to align telescopes, satellites, and deep space scans into mesh reflectors to focus on a single threat. We see the Doctor's new companion. What the hell is Triad all about? Why bring it up? I don't know. We've seen the Doctor's new companion, Ruby Sunday, disembark from double decker bus with a Triad technology advertisement. Oh, that's interesting. The advertisement isn't visible in the special, but it was spotted at a location filming captured for crews of a Doctor Who Unleashed. The Sun first mentioned Susan Triad, a prop manager. Sun isn't the first mention of Susan Triad. Who's Susan Triad? A prop manager for a prop magazine cover for Union Jack icon spotted framed in Doctor Who showrunner's office in a Blue Peter clip from December contains the image of Susan Twist as Susan Triad. Okay, so she seems to be the big bad, right? Bloody hell. I'm amazed somebody went to the trouble to find that. Wow. I am amazed. Someone else pointed out to me this direction of this. It was implied that we see Mrs. Merridew again in the form of Susan Triad. Russell Lee Davis had a Union Jack icon magazine mock-up cover featuring her in the office. Okay, fine. That's interesting. If any of this was interesting. That's interesting if this wasn't shit. Susan character is going to appear through space and time following the Doctor through new adventures, but she won't be a friendly face. She's going to be a huge foe for the Time Lord. Maybe she's a terrible Zodin for the Time Lord and Ruby to face off against. And the reveal will be explosive. Well, will be that explosive. We know about it now. Since I've been working on location filming for episode 4, she's keen. She's seen with a shock of white hair and a strange black face markings, mumbling strangely to herself. Her character is seen as the 2024 series trailer approaching the TARDIS on a cliff top from a distance. So as all says, she will appear again and again in the upcoming 8-part series. It's striking the actress named Susan Twist will play a character Susan Triad. Considering that Susan is named for the Doctor's granddaughter and first companion. This is quite a Susan twist indeed. Okay. When Millie Gibson asked in Doctor Who Magazine 600 if she would give away hints about what to look forward to 24, she could have said, "There's a twist. There's always a twist." Okay, so it must be Susan. See, she's smart as well. I'm so fucked off. They fired her. Right. The 24th Doctor Who series will premiere simultaneously worldwide on BBC iPlayer in the UK, and Disney Plus were available at midnight in British time at 11 of May 2024 with the first and second episode of the series. The second episode entitled The Devil's Cord. The 2 episodes will also be broadcast back-to-back before Eurovision on May 11th on BBC One. Okay, so they are putting those 2 out. Man, so I got to watch both those before come on. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll come on like after it's finished, essentially. I don't know. I mean, look, at least I'll be able to watch it as soon as Sabbath ends, right? Which is helpful for me. But here's it. I can't believe I'm still remaining optimistic because everything they do really sounds like it's going to be shit, right? Really sounds like it's going to be shit. But listen. If you're craving great entertainment, we have you covered, right? We have you covered. I like to bring you fantastic crowdsourcing entertainment. Well, I haven't got that for you here, right? Doctor Who showrunner Chris Chibnall auctioned the rights to his first novel. No, okay. How do you like sound your complete disinterest? Christian has sold his new novel at auction, Death at the White Hart, which revolves around web of secrets and lies. Okay, he actually sold it. Okay. Penguin Michael Joseph wins the auction with the non-North American rights to the. I can't believe. Like, how much did it go for? Fuck me. Like, whoever it went for has more money in the sense, that's for sure. And look, he couldn't write fucking TV. Why do you think he can write a book? Chris Chibnall, writer and former showrunner for Doctor Who, when Jodie Whittaker played the Doctor here, as well as Law and Order UK, Life on Mars, Torchwood, and the creator of the TV series Broadchurch, and a comic strip writer. Really? Don't think he wrote many comics. He has sold a new novel at auction, Death at the White Hart. Apparently revolves around secret and lies in a small community after a local pub landlord. It's so good. I'm yawning at this, just looking at it. Man, it's boring. The auction was held between 6 bidding publishing houses and was one of Joel Richardson's publishers at Penguin Michael Joseph. The deal saw him win the non-North American world rights for 2 books from Chris Chibnall's agent, Eugene Furness. That agent must be the most incredible salesman ever. Right? The first book, Death at White Hart, will be published in January 2025. While Pam Dorman, Senior Vice President of the publisher Pamela Dorman Books, has already preempted the American North American rights. The novel was set in a picturesque village in Dorset. Well, man, that's stretching it for him, isn't it? That's where he lives. Well, a landlord's body is discovered. Detective Nicola Bridge investigation puts the spotlight on a vividly drawn community as she unpicks a web of secrets and lies to finally unmask a killer. Now, wouldn't it be weird if he actually wrote a good novel, right? Or like this becomes his thing, right? Because it's Doctor Who was shit. In a statement, Christian was said, having always harbored a desire to write a novel, when you harbor a desire to run Doctor Who, you fuck that up. I've been working on Death and White Hart for a couple of years now. It's exciting, nerve-wracking to reveal real existence. The book is set in a landscape we all know and love, a genre I adore. So basically, it's the same, more Broadchurch, apparently, which is just like a mystery set in his local town. Okay. This next bit, I don't think I might just cause my brain to implode. Joel Richardson added, it's no exaggeration to say Christian was one of Britain's most accomplished and celebrated storytellers. No. It is an exaggeration, right? It's a huge exaggeration. He's very accomplished for having absolutely no talent, right? Very, very accomplished for being a complete talentless fuck. That's quite impressive, right? That is quite impressive, right? A complete talentless fuck has still managed to sell stories somehow, right? Just completely managed to sell stories. Fine, somehow, right? Oh, close. Doink. And it's sheer delight to see how smoothly his talent has shifted from into novel writing. Well, again, it's pretty easy to shift into anything when you have no talent. Death of White Hart is both gripping mystery and a searingly clever portrait of a small community. Okay, everything they're saying there is a lie, right? Everything they're saying is a lie. Oh, my God. Man, oh, man. Doctor Who, the Dr. Donner was always the right endgame. No, really, it wasn't. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was a very disappointing endgame, right? One of the many mistakes of Russell T Davies, right, was to bring back David Tennant and Catherine Tate and destroy the good work they did and leave the Doctor in a very non-Doctor Who space. And by generation, I don't fucking I don't understand at all. The reason Doctor's friendship with Donna Noble Cassidy is the most memorable on TV. Yes, Rose Tyler has fans since she was... but listen, Billie Piper looks unrecognizable from Rose at this point. Has fans since she was the first modern companion on the TV. No, they have fans because she was very good. Right, and kids could identify with because she was pretty much a kid meeting the Doctor for the first time. She was same age as Millie, roughly, or portrayed her as being the same age as Millie. Every companion's arc in the current series is one of someone who discovers the vastness of life in the universe after meeting the Doctor and how it changes them for the better. Donna's arc has been the fullest. Well, yeah, because she said she'll come back and she's super famous, right? And they thought it'll bring in viewers. Again, I don't understand how they're not putting all this together, right? It seems relatively easy to me. Unlike Rose or Martha, Freema Agyeman, Donna was not in love with the Doctor. She was a woman in her 30s, late 40s now. Wait, how many ago? Coming to 50s. Not at the beginning of her life as an adult trying to find a way in the world. The Doctor's companions tended to be lonely authors like him, being Ace, Mel, or Rose. He felt superior to Martha and took her for granted. No. He felt superior in that he was a superior being, but no, not at all. Right? He really liked Martha, right? And he didn't take her for granted. I mean, look at Gridlock, right? When she was kidnapped. In fact, let me just play that one bit. Does this look like somebody taking anybody for granted to you? I love Gridlock. Gridlock's my all-time favorite, right? I really love it. Where is it? We go. Doink. Doctor Who, the TARDIS, 10th Doctor, right? Gridlock be series 3, wouldn't it? Yes. Fine. Look, that's the scene where she's kidnapped. Right, and he was just enjoying showing off, right? Which is fine. I love that little bit of humanity that he gave her, that they gave the Doctor. Man, she is stunning. Freema Agyeman. Where was it? Where'd she go? Just stunning. Absolutely beautiful woman. So wait. When she, here. But I love the Doctor's reaction, right? Yeah. This is a really genuine reaction of complete care.
Their heads on chemicals.
Sorry, I'm really sorry. We just need 3. That's all. I mean, what are you doing? What's wrong, Roy? I can help. Hope for God, we can help. But first, you've got to let her go. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm a bit down on Tennant now, but that is pure Doctor Who, right? Really worked. I love Gridlock. Gridlock is just again the difference between then and now. Everything they did worked, right? Everything they did doing now is there's a massive failure. So yeah, take Martha for granted. Fuck you. And yeah, she was unrequited love, but it was kind of a stroppy idea. But whatever. And she had a family for support when she had enough. She left him, and then she married Mickey. Donna was one. Today she wouldn't marry Mickey. Today she would marry a black woman, right? They'll find another black woman. She would marry Liz 10, right? That's who she would go for marrying now if it was done today. Liz 10 from Beast Below. Donna was one companion where the Doctor was definitely not quite her type. She had family with a dysfunctional history. Her mother, Sylvie Dackling, belittled her, but her grandfather, Wolf, and father, Jeff Howard Atwood, doted on her. I think belittled, but yeah, listen, I found her family set up to be very credible, very, very relatable. And she was a bit of a mean girl and a bully to other girls, especially to her friend Neri. No, she wasn't. She would stand her own against Nerys, right? But she wasn't a bully to her, right? The later running joke of the series, Doctor, this person has no conception of what of the David Tennant is. It's really bizarre. Donna started out as a bridezilla who wasn't even bothered about getting kidnapped by aliens. She was extremely bothered by it, right? Them being late for a wedding. She was extremely bothered by it. Her meeting with the Doctor changed her and made her see beyond herself and investigate the suspicious alien activity around London. Do I have to have the trailer where the... Let's have a look, I'll say, because that's also one of the all-time great trailers. I think I have it over here. Where is it? Doink. And yeah, by the way, talking about the rollout, they still haven't talked about if they're going to do a Hooniverse rollout on what's the word again? On Disney Plus, right? So she was season 4, I believe. I think I got it here. Doctor, yeah, here we go. Doink.
There are things waiting in the darkness. Creatures of metal and fire.
Again, I want you to pay attention to every element we're seeing on screen, how it all comes together. Perfect script, right? Great music. Listen to that Murray Gold music. It's building and it's building and it's building, right? You have the monsters like in the distance, like, and you have Catherine Tate's performance, which is pitch perfect.
Blood, but he's out there, burning through time, facing 1,000 dangers across the stars and never giving up. He looks like a man, but he's a legend, and his name is the Doctor. He'll come back to save us, and this time, I'm gonna be ready. Then, just like that, we'll be gone.
Oh, man, I miss those days. Fuck me. Oh, man, I miss those days.
Doctor Who, next Saturday at 6:20 on BBC One.
Yeah, I mean, that again, reasonably. What a great time, right, man? If only we knew how great the times were when we lived them, right? We know how shitty times are when we live them. I mean, unless you know, you head up your ass. But man, we never know great times. I mean, and we had great times then. Oh, it's killing me. No, crushing me, should I say. Her meeting with the Doctor changed her. Then they're off together. Their friendship was one of equals. No, it wasn't. Since she was never in awe of him. Yeah, he's a 900-year old Time Lord, and she's, from Chiswick. The first ending of the story was the show's most tragic, since she had to lose everything she ever learned and or became, and the Doctor had to lose that. Now, I think that was a really great thing for his character. Here, let me follow if I can find this. Hang on, it's Dalek Universe trailer from Big Finish, which was the trailer was stunning. The actual realization of it was oh, is this it? I think this is it. The actual series was deeply underwhelming. Yeah, let me pull this up because again, this is when was this from? 3 years ago. Oh man, I wish it was better. Right, I wish it was better. Where's this? Doink. And download. Here we go. Share screen. Doink. Now I'm showing this A because it's a great trailer, and B, I want to show you the character development that Donna losing her memories made, right? Colin says, can you imagine a Family of Blood being made these days with a character of color being cast as a servant? No. Everything they make today turns to hit. If I may quote, right? If I may quote a very, very wise person, where is this little piece of wisdom, right? Well, I'm just looking for it. Nothing's where you want it to be, right? Well, I thought it was down here. 1 second. Let me look over there. No, not there, not there, not there, not there, not there, not there. No. Oh, here he goes.
Everything woke turns to shit, okay? It's true. It's true. Look at what's happening.
Everything won't do it doesn't need to turn shit. Anyway, so let's watch this. They certainly don't have the money to do these anymore, do they, Big Finish? Oof.
Everything ends, eventually. Every story ever told finishes in death if you tell it long enough. It's sort of a fact of life. Got used to that now.
Right, the post-Donna 10th Doctor I thought was a really interesting thing. Right? They did something with the Doctor they really hadn't done before.
Across time, across space, I've lost it all. Family, friends, my own people, my home. Donna.
Right, Donna. Like, I really think that didn't bring the character to a depression, but it certainly moved him into like the later parts of his life, right? Where he wasn't so happy.
Rose. I've always survived. I've always endured. I've always got through whatever's been thrown at me. However much I lose, I always carry on. To bear that burden. To remember them. Everything ends eventually.
So yeah, again, he's a very nihilistic Doctor by the time you got to the end of him, and I think the rebirth as Matt Smith was really generally about a rebirth, like starting again.
But sometimes, just sometimes, it comes back.
Oh, if only this matched that promise, right? You know what the problem with Dalek Universe was? No fucking Daleks. They didn't show up till the 7th episode and yeah, lockdown was very good for them. Anyway, yeah, no, well, that was good. Anyway, so wait. So, I'm still reading this article. What's going on? Fine, yeah. So we're saying that was, I think, really integral to both the character, the Doctor and the Doctor. Doctor returned in the 6th anniversary special, the third act of the Doctor Donna story, and it was essentially taking a shit on the rest of the Doctor Donna story, in my estimation. She was not only restored to his life, but also her own family and daughter. Daughter who had a spare penis. But I think Crichton had the similar problem when he was put in the women's prison, and was it season 8 of Red Wolf? Her love for where we're up to. Her love for Rose is like comic redemption for all the girls she was mean to. She wasn't mean to everyone, and she wasn't a girl. For fuck's sake! Really? What? That bloke with a big thick chin and a big swinging dick. That girl? Okay then. She became a Doctor Donna again, and the ultimate form of their friendship. The 14th Doctor finally retired, settling down to adopt him as the ultimate endgame for the lonely wanderer. No, it was shit. It was shit. Much like everything else, Rossi David, it was shit. And may I say, what was this? Addy Tantamouth, you know absolutely fucking nothing about Doctor. You're like the stunning amount of how little you know about Doctor Who blows my mind, right? Blows my mind. I just saw this. Where was it? Here we go. We got to look at this. Oh God, I can't. I'm going to do it. I'm going to watch and I'm going to do deep dive reviews on every episode, right? Is it when the trailer come out? Yeah. Copy link address. Let's download this trailer. Hang on. Doink, because it's gonna be so shit. It's gonna be so shit. Hang on, and then find download. Doink. Where am I up to? There I am. There was a rival, not friend. Yeah, I know. They said it over and over again. God. There's some advanced dumb country going on, right? Advanced dumb country.
It has been a hell of a journey.
And every bit of it has been awful, right? I every bit of it has been as bad as having a fish shoved up your ass.
But everything ends someday.
God, not soon fucking enough.
The Discovery is my home, my family.
Yeah. Okay. What about your family?
We've always been able to find answers together.
Being a part of a crew, being where
I love cut price Idris Elba.
you need to be, when you need to be, that's Starfleet.
Oh my God, there's Tilly. Man, she's get fatter every time you see her, right? It's unbelievable. The Starfleet show, Academy show, they want to base around her. These uniforms are shit. Everything about this show is shit. And it's nothing to do with Starfleet.
Last dance.
I shall follow your lead.
Of course you will, because she's stunning and brave and the bestest ever. Space Jesus here to save the day. Oh God, it's soon. April 4th. Fuck me. What's that? 17 days out. Oh, come on, Apocalypse. Come on. Listen. Can I appeal to the good Lord? Can I appeal to the Holy One above? I'm just saying. Listen. This world is fucked up, and we're not going to get any better. Bring the apocalypse now, but before this comes, because I don't want to have to watch it, right? I don't want to have to watch it.
Greatest treasure in the known galaxy.
Oh, British treasure. Do you think they're going on some kind of season-long quest?
Is out there.
David Cronenberg, right? One of the greatest horror directors of all time, being in this is just relentlessly weird. Right? It is like everything else with this show, relentlessly weird.
It's more important than you can imagine.
Well, it's like only the bestest ever can work this out.
We're on a search for one of the greatest powers ever known.
Was it the power? Is it the power of cake? Because I think Tilly has found it.
It could be very dangerous in the wrong hands.
Blowing up! Oh, stop it! Shit.
This clue is the most important thing. We have to keep it safe.
Oh, no, this is the most important thing. No, this is the most important. There's the most important thing. The engineers there, because they've noticed that they're attracting meteorites, right? Asteroids. And they're banging into shit because Tilly is creating her own gravitational field. Oh, leaping!
Let's fly.
Let's fly. God, one of the shittest things in Star Trek ever. Not that. Woo! Woo! So dumb! It's so devoid of understanding anything that's about Star Trek.
My crew. The family I found in...
Oh, God, I hate them all.
Starfleet. We make...
Oh, Dr. Gay! Dr. Gay, and so was he raped by Kevin Spacey, this guy? Or was that proved to be wrong? I don't know. When I say raped, maybe a little bit consensually.
A pretty good team.
God. Just look how fat she is! I mean, for fuck's sake! It's ridiculous. She looks like she's about to eat her. Fucking hell. Oh, yes, I've got. She has to cry every week. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, God, it's been so long since I forgot how bad it was, right? I forgot how awful it is. And does Jodie Sharp, says Sword Ranger, you thumb. Man, I've got to do that. Somehow got to do that. I don't know why. The final season. So Alex Kurtzman was talking about this masterpiece. Let's see what he has to say. Oh, so stunning, so brave, Ekithom. Discovery had to walk before modern audience could run in the current Paramount Plus era. No, they poured tons of money on it, and I still think that first 7 or 8 episodes was quite good. I other than having Michael Burnham and the boring costumes, uniforms. Found developing the series from the conception to its fifth and final season. We'll start seeing fans in April. Since the return to television in the streaming era, Star Trek has been developed 2 live-action spin-offs with Picard, ending in 2023. He got 1 good season, right? 1 good season out of that. Strange New Worlds got 1 good season out of that, amazingly. A series of shorts with very short treks. So that, you know why they did the short treks, by the way? Do you remember why? It's because they made rules about the fan films, which were vastly superior. Again, what do I think was one of the reasons Millie Gibson was fired from Doctor Who? I think she was vastly superior to Ncuti Gatwa, right? I think another reason is she exudes heterosexuality, right? And that's off-brand, right? That is off-brand. But the fan films were fucking incredible, right? They were absolutely incredible. I like Vic Montagna's Star Trek Continues. I like the red-headed chick counselor they had on it. I thought it moved Star Trek forward, yet remained very, very authentic to the original, right? If they had any fucking brains at all, Paramount, what they call it then? CBS Network, whatever this streaming service was called then, they would have put those on their streaming service as content. Because they were good. They should have greenlit an Axanar and put it on as content rather than seeing it as a competition, right? And 2 animated Lower Decks. What's the 2 animated series? With Lower Decks and Strange New Worlds on the way with Discovery spin-off. What? No, there was... And 2 animated series with Lower Decks and Strange New Worlds. No! Strange New Worlds isn't animated? What the fuck's it talking about? With more on the way with the Discovery spin-off, Section 31. So what the word on the street is, Section 31 is the end of Kurtzman Trek. At last. At last. Nothing is being done beyond that. But man, we live in a world where Kathleen Kennedy is still employed as the head of Lucasfilm. Anything can happen. Don't expect logical reason. Why should you not expect logical reason? Well, there hasn't been any around for the last 5 to 7 years, has there? Kirsten spoke to TrekMovie.com about the series' legacy, fan feedback, and how augmented reality has changed the franchise. Okay. How Discovery boldly went where no other Star Trek series has gone before. Yeah, into making unwatchable shit. I am sorry. We had ropey episodes of Star Trek before. We never had unwatchable pap that put the logo of Star Trek on it while having absolutely nothing to do with Star Trek whatsoever. When it comes to the press that made since the last Star Trek series Enterprise, I think there are 2 things. First, there will be no modern age of Star Trek without Discovery. Why? Of course there would be. Of course there would be. There will be no unwatchable shit without on the modern age of Star Trek. But what? They would have just come out with something else, you dumb cunt. Whether you loved it or hated it, we hated it. Everybody hated it. It kicked open the doors for more Star Trek. No, it was just the show, right? They were doing They couldn't care what the content was. It could have been Star Trek, arse flaps, right? Until they cared, right? It could have been Star Trek fanny juice, and it still probably would have been better. Hello, I'm Captain Michael Burnham of the Starship Fanny Juice. Oh, and a few years with AI, I will make her say that. The idea was never to make one show that pleased everybody. Now, apparently the idea was to make one show that everybody hated, apart from just emotionally stunted weirdos. I will. I'm willing to bet the people who like Star Trek Discovery would say, if you ask them, how would it feel if you didn't have breakfast yesterday? They'll go, but I had breakfast yesterday. If you ask them, what's your internal monologue like? They'll go, what's an internal monologue? People like Star Trek Discovery are like the dumbest fucks in the world, and they really are. And again, I'm not saying that with animosity. I'm just saying they are the dumbest fucks in the entire world. What was it? Because everyone knows no one size fits all with Star Trek fans. What? Have you ever heard of Star Trek? Or Star Trek 2, which everybody loved, and Star Trek 3, which everybody loved, and Star Trek 4, which everybody loved? And I guess Star Trek First Contact and Star Trek Next Generation. Everybody loved all of those, right? Everybody loved Picard's final season. What corporate bullshit are you spewing, you fucking moron? Yeah, no, you made a show that everybody loved. It was called Star Trek in the 60s. Did you not notice? Fucking moron. So I think the key was for us, I didn't want to set out and build a Star Trek universe when we did Discovery, but that is, in fact, what happened. Well, why not? What? You didn't have the idea to build a Star Trek universe when you built it? Then you're a dumb fuck. What? And I'm really, really proud of that. You're proud that a corporate executive gave you a job to do something without you having the idea for it. Okay. And I think fans will see that there wouldn't be what exists now without it. Well, three hearty cheers. Frankly, yeah, I would be really happy if all of this stuff didn't exist. Now, don't be wrong. I love Picard final season. But would I sacrifice Picard final seasons for Discovery and Lower Decks and... well, yes, I'm afraid so. I'm would rather Star Trek was a dead franchise, right? I really would. I'm afraid so. The other thing is, obviously, Gene Roddenberry had an extraordinary track record of representation on screen, and the original series set the bar. So, and I think we quadrupled down on that show. I believe we're very much living in its shadow. Hopefully, he'll be proud. He will be disgusted with you. He will be disgusted with your pervertry, right? I think it's always important just to demonstrate what they mean when they say inclusivity, right? I think it's always important to say that. So I just pick one of these random clips I got in this folder. Let's see what this one is. Yeah. You know, some things don't need to be included, right? Some things are better not being included. Fuck me. You show Gene Roddenberry that, he'll be like, no, I want to die again. Let me send me back to the abyss. He wouldn't be proud of it. You did literal shit, mate. Literal shit. As far as if any of Discovery is driven by fan feedback, it's always a factor. We listen to fans a lot. Really? We fucking hate you and everything you've done. Go away. Oh, flush your head down the toilet, and it's too good a fate for you. We see that people are saying. We see what people are saying online. Nobody's saying anything about Star Trek online, apart from me, which says how intently shit it is. We talk about what of it feels resonant. None of it. What of it feels truthful? None of it. You know when you always know when you always know when you always know when someone makes a point, you kind of feel in your gut. Everything you've done has been unwatchable shit, mate. Right? You should have that in your gut, right? Everything you watch is unwatchable shit. That's a very fair point. So we're always open to feedback. I actually think it's a really important part of making Star Trek. Again, the disconnection from reality is mind-blowing, isn't it? It really genuinely is mind-blowing. The EP admitted that the show's franchise uses AR Wall has revolutionized how filming every project. It's changed a lot. It changes like every 6 months, and we're having conversation about how to integrate it into Starfleet Academy. Fuck off. Do not even think you're going to make Starfleet Academy, you fucking moron. God, please no. I'm literally begging God for an apocalypse so I don't have to watch your bullshit. How many episodes is it? 1 second. Let's have a look. Star Trek Discovery Season 5, is it? The Red Directive. Fuck, everything about this is shit. The Red Directive. 10 more episodes. Life itself is the last. Fucking hell. It's so pretentious. It's just so intently pretentious. Fuck me. Starfleet Academy, slightly different than we've done on Discovery. And Section 31. It's a huge tool. No, you are a huge tool. But it's a digital tool. Not like you're not digital, you're just a tool. It needs to be used very thoughtfully. Well, you're the wrong man to use it then. I think that what I like more than anything is to create a world that feels grounded. Well, you haven't done that. If you like it, why are you running fucking terrified from that? When have you made a world that feels grounded? And sometimes you can make it feel like you're inside a video game. Sometimes, always, right? We're really having a hard time to make sure that's not the feeling. It's always that feeling, right? It's always that feeling. Oh, God. God help us. God help us, ladies and gentlemen. All I can say, God help us. Fine. I think I'm going to be wrapping up in a second. I was going to do a review, right? A couple of things I need to review. I'll get to on Tuesday, right? I'll get to on Tuesday. Let's have a quick look at what we... By the way, I saw this online. This is great. This is the bestest Ray ever. I would buy this and keep it in its packaging. I love this, right? I absolutely love this. It's so funny. Yes, and this is what Ray should look like, right? This is 100% what Ray should look like. I think it'll be better for the the entire world. Fine. Snowpiercer's coming back. I didn't cover that. Snowpiercer is going to be on TNT, I think, right? Or did TNT drop it? It's coming out next year. You haven't seen? I think they got seasons 1, 2, and 3 on Netflix. It's reasonably stupid and reasonably shit, right? It really is. But I kind of like it anyway. It's kind of like doggedly stupid and shit, right? And Disney Culls the MCU. They cancel everything. Fine. Tomorrow, though, tomorrow we are going over. This is more for people who don't watch the live streams, right? This goes through the what's been going on. I guess if you come in and you hang out in the chat, then the rerun kind of works. I don't know. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I am back live on Tuesday and on Thursday, and I think Saturday night. Sunday night, I will not be on because I will be getting steamingly drunk, right? And then crawling into bed and crying, right? Should come with a pineapple. I don't know what it is, but listen, babe. Listen, let me tell you as a rabbi, it's always good to come with a pineapple. I'll say no more. With that, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Titus Time is there. How you doing? Speaking of coming with a pineapple, Titus Time is there. How you doing? Same time, it's embarrassing that the generation of being labeled as snowflake. Actually, I want to tell you something. Titus Time, your Gen Z is probably going to work out okay, I think, because the Gen Z, and I think Gen Alpha, the one after you, you're the ones who've seen how much you've been fucked over. Did Rabbi say fatty juice? No, what do they call it again? Fanny. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Americans wouldn't understand it, Lonnie. Fanny is a English slang word for vagina, and juice would be whatever discharge you would expect from that. Fanny juice, the Starship Fanny juice, not fatty juice. Fanny juice, very, very different. Very, very different. To come with a pineapple. Mark the Vickers here. Anyway, back on the back live on Tuesday. Who knows what we're going to be talking about? It will be smutty and disgusting. I can guarantee you all. Prepare yourselves to need to shower after my stream. Because I go where other YouTubers do, and rumblers who dare not go. I'm going to hit